100 years ago, this week, the second most destructive war in all of history began. World War I changed the face of Europe, and fundamentally changed the way that we view war, even today. It was the first truly modern war, bridging the gap between the modern era and the Industrial Revolution. The advances in the weapons, the tactics, and the transportations have changed war today, and even our view of war. The advances in weaponry, such as machine guns, gas, and artillery, completely changed the battlefield. From going from muskets or rifles that could fire one bullet per minute, or bolt-action rifles which could fire maybe 5 every 10 seconds, the machine gun was unveiled, firing hundreds of rounds per minute. Now, nowhere on the battlefield was safe. The entire area of combat could be riddled by gunfire at any second. Gas proved to make the battlefield even more random. Poison gas literally changed with how the wind blew. There was nothing you could do to stop either of these, short of only never venturing into the battlefield and covering yourself in protective clothing. For any advance to be made, you automatically had to risk sudden and instant death. Bravery and skills, which had brought so many people through before, were almost meaningless, as death came at any time from anywhere. The artillery was so advanced by now that they could fire from entire cities away and hit battlefields miles upon miles away. This led to another type of war, trench warfare. The first of the new tactics to be developed, trench warfare, was in response to the stalemate that this technology could cause, with artillery making the battlefield so impassable that neither side could gain any ground. Trenches had to be dug in order to give the soldiers places to sleep and take cover from incoming fire. This caused the Western Front's stalemate, a stalemate that lasted years and never truly resolved. The idea of simply charging into the battlefield on horseback, or charging into the battlefield at all, was now gone. The tactics had fundamentally changed from fast-moving charges or flanking to trying to batter down the opponent's defenses until one could gain the upper hand. While the tactics shifted from fast to slow, the transportation shifted from slow to fast. Tanks, submarines, and airplanes were all first used in World War I. Tanks were in response to the machine gun and barbed wire used to stop horses. They made it so that even when the enemy spotted you, they could do nothing to stop you without advanced weaponry. This idea that you could see the enemy coming towards you and still do nothing changed the way that soldiers thought about defense, or even offense. The idea of an enemy which you could really do nothing about is now fundamental in today's wars, with drones and airplanes that you can see and do nothing to stop. But this was a first. This was the first time such a thing happened. Submarines allowed for civilians to be just as caught up in war as military, with boats being shot down at any time with no discretion across the sea due to submarines. No one was safe trying to leave Europe. And airplanes, while used mostly for reconnaissance, still made the entire battlefield visible. All of the transportation advancements widened the scope of the battle from not just the field, but to entire countries or the entire ocean. The impact on today's war is very obvious. All modern war is fought with airplanes and submarines and tanks. While poison gas has been outlawed, machine guns are still used. This was the first time any of these tactics had been used in any war, and they're still present in all of our wars today.